Let's be clear. Say what you mean what you say. Welcome to day 93 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. We're talking about communication all this month of the 9-part life framework that we're focusing in on and really concentrating on each of the different areas and aspects of our life which impact our business for 1 month at a time this year, plus other topics to grow and build and supersize and scale your business. Well, today, one of the fastest, easiest things that we all have control over is our communication, our business's communication. Are we communicating in a way that is crystal clear, that there's no room for doubt, that people totally understand what we're saying and what we're doing? Now, sometimes in advertising and promotion, we do cutesy things or clever things, and it works for a little while. But overall, we want to have actual radical clarity, super clear, concise ways of communicating within our organization, and especially to the customers and the people that we're here to serve. We want them to know without a doubt what we can do for them and why it's in their best interest. A lot of times people will focus on features without telling the people that they're communicating with the benefit of that feature. Okay, so you have this cool community. Well, how does that benefit me? That's the question in every customer's mind all the time, right? That's in all of our minds all the time. Well, what's in it for me, right? What's in it for me? Every communication where the other person is asking themselves, well, what's in it for me? Why should I do that? I get what's in it for you, but why should I do it? So clever, vague, indirect language, indirect communication creates confusion. We want to do just the opposite of that in our business and in our lives as well. So assumptions are the enemy of clear communication. It's why we talked about active listening yesterday as one of the most important skills that we can acquire. We need not only to actively listen, but we also have to clearly communicate back what we think we've heard or what we have heard. Because what the person is saying and what we hear is often not the same thing. And we need to check that. Overcoming expectations. I guess there's a couple things that I do when it comes to communication. I over communicate expectations, deadlines, what my needs are. Why? Number one, I want my needs met. Number two, I want the person that I'm communicating with to know exactly what I expect of them, what I need, what I expect them to do. We do this a lot when new people come into the organization. The first thing I do is have an expectation sharing with them. The first thing their boss does is have an expectation sharing with them so that they know clearly what they should and shouldn't do, right? Why not be clear right up front? I'd like to add things about our culture that I want to continue seeing stay in our culture as part of that expectation sharing. I want to be really clear about that. For our purposes today, I want to challenge you to pick one piece of communication in your company. Maybe it's an email you just wrote. Maybe it's a brochure that your company uses. Do companies use brochures anymore? Of course they do. Maybe it's a training manual. Maybe it's the about page on your community for school if you're on that platform. Maybe it's something on your website. But I want you to look at that with the auditor's eyes, the inspector's eyes, and ask yourself, is this crystal clear? Is this piece of communication clearly communicating the purpose that it was designed for? So if, for example, my about page, I know is very non-clear. It is definitely not crystal clear. And you'll see that change in the next, if you're in my school community, over the next few, probably days, maybe a week. But that's going to change dramatically because I am going to get crystal clear on it. Because I want to attract a certain type of people to that particular community. So today, ask yourself, do you communicate in vague or unclear or maybe humorous ways to avoid commitment or to avoid conflict? A lot of people don't like conflict so much that they will just not say anything. You know, we see this in our team meetings and in meetings all the time, not so much in my organizations, but with other companies and other businesses, because there are some strong personalities in some of these companies, and a lot of people just won't say anything. They won't agree with them. You can see it in their body language, but they won't speak up and say anything because they're afraid of the reaction. They're afraid to look bad. They're afraid to have any type of conflict whatsoever. So today, in the comments below, I want you to do this. Audit the piece of content or the piece, the whatever the communication is that you're looking at. And if it's not clear, please redo it, or please assign someone to redo it and write it so that it is crystal clear, because a confused mind always says no. It's one of my favorite sayings from business and from life, because if somebody doesn't really understand how they can help you or what you want from them, they're just going to say no or ignore you altogether. So we don't want to be ignored, right? We're trying to build and grow our businesses. So we want people to get what they need from us, not from other people. And the more clearly we communicate the benefit of working with us versus the competition, but it's not even versus the competition, but a lot of people clearly spell that out on their websites and things. And if you're doing that, is it super clear? Heaven forbid, if you have features listed anywhere in any of your materials without the benefit to the consumer or the benefit to the person that gets that, fix that today. Make that be the one thing you fix today. It's one of my pet peeves, is that, you know what? You have to always tell people what's in it for them, because they don't necessarily make the connection that you think you're saying, oh, this is all these wonderful things, and that's, oh, it's for everybody. Well, if you don't spell out exactly what the benefit is, they might draw their own conclusions. And sometimes we want people to do that. Other times we don't. In our written communication especially, we don't. We need to be especially clear. And again, be clear with expectations, deadlines, and needs, because then you're much more likely to get those things met. All right. If I can help you in any way with this or anything else, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.